start, but
we live, so
oh, we're live. Oh shit, what's going on? Yo, we live. We live with this motherfucker. Yeah. So you want to introduce the title? Or should I introduce the title?
you do it. You do it.
Oh shit, what's going on? Oh, damn! I got two videos playing at the same time. Okay.
Okay,
Da, 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 da.
gonna flow.
Okay, so we're basically talking about today is reconnecting with your inner flame, your twin flame, your soulmate. Because a lot of people believe there's soulmates outside of them, and a lot of the things that stop that is having this connection between yourself and the
Mhm.
world creates this sense of distortion where you have to connect to this external form of identity. And when we connect to
Yep.
that external form of identity, it makes us tap into just false versions of realities that don't truly align with us. And, it truly comes from this distorted sense we have of ourselves. And a lot of the times, things from childhood can just happen to you and you could put this persona over you, especially if you have like, certain types of, for me, for example, I had a very toxic masculine figure in my life where they was always forcing me to take on certain thoughts, certain feelings, putting a lot of stress, a lot of worry on my mind that I didn't necessarily need, making me
Right.
feel unsafe and stuff. So it created this sense, basically made me feel extremely unsafe growing up. And so I connected with things that didn't really align with who I am. And one of the events that really stood out in my life when I was like grade 11 or grade 10 or whatever, I was doing this network marketing events with my friend. It was this network marketing event. I think it was Amway or something like that. And everyone there was so happy, blah blah. Oh, we're gonna be millionaires one day. It's like a church kind of environment, where you're just amplified and inspired and whatever. But
Uh-huh.
I was like that at that place. But when I left, I was at the bus stop. I just started crying because like I didn't know who I am. So it's like, at this place you're like this, and then at this other place you act another way because really there's this complete distortion between who you truly are and the
Right.
assignment and the purpose you're supposed to align with, and
Right.
what you're masking yourself to be just to kind of get along and not ruffle feathers and things like
Brothers.
that.
Yep. That
Yeah.
happens to me a lot. Like, I think just living in the environment I live in the low key, not in the hood, but just in Georgia. I moved out the hood. Like, but I'm still in the hood. It's weird. Like in the in between middle class energy. But I think for me, I completely get it because sometimes when I'm around people, like I grew up north, so I'm from here, but my background is weird because I've traveled and been exposed to so many different cultures and ethnicities and whatnot.
Right.
So there's like the expectation where I'm around people where it's like I gotta talk country, like yeah, shawty, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah,
to
yeah, okay,
be
so you gotta uphold
accepted.
dialects.
And then sometimes it's like people think I'm code switching or I'm being bougie or uppity or something, and it's like they don't understand like where how I was raised. Like I have seen that gutter, I have been exposed to it. I lived in that for a while too, but I got thankfully protected and like moved out of that energy. I didn't have to like fully grow in like this distorted. Like I always talk about like the masculines like the container and the feminines like the everything inside. It's like thankfully somebody you know um, was always there to kind of take me out of like these weird, and I guess that just goes back to my name Jade, like protect me, you know what I'm saying, from changing into something I wasn't. Because if I would have just stayed down here or stayed in certain spaces and not been exposed to certain stuff that has something to do with my art or my music, I would have lost myself in a lot of the world that I was living in, and I didn't even know as a child like how bad it really was. So
Right, yeah, because it's like a lot of things could be going on, and like a lot of people can throw different energies on you that's not really you. I guess like in the world
mm-hmm.
where a lot of people have a distorted sense of self, they may throw at you their distortions and things like that. And it really
Right,
takes a certain level of awareness to look at that and be like, you know what? I know that's not really me, and I know that's just them projecting onto me what they believe about me, but it's just based upon, you know, their biased view and things like that. Because like, well, for me, I'm like a Libra rising on Pisces moon. So for me, like I've
okay,
always been very relatable with people. I've always been very understanding of people, and people can look at you like you're wishy washy. You're trying to help everyone, but you don't really pick a team and stuff like that. Because I really felt like my purpose was just to help people and stuff like that.
yeah,
But between all that, you got to learn to help yourself and really
right,
value what's important to you. Because people like us, we can be so compassionate and stuff, we can really lose ourselves inside of other people's worlds. And I think for me, a lot of my earlier friends like that about me. That they like that I was so invested into their worlds. but that made me not so invested in my world and stuff like that. So I had to learn to just have myself more together. Because I guess as a Pisces moon, you can be like very scattered, and you can be in
Yeah.
everyone's emotions and feelings. You can
But
make
Libra, my Libra moon, I could be in everybody else's like head, in my own head, thinking about things people not even thinking about for themselves,
right
going over and beyond, been in my back, like doing the most. So Libra, when they're not together with themselves, they definitely could be just as all over the place. And I think
100%.
Pisces and Libra have that kind of cool affinity for each other, where it's like they help each other realize, like, hold on, when to be selfish and when to be selfless, and like be ourselves and be with the people, because they have that easy ability to do so. What's up, Jackie New? You got Jackie New and everything.
Oh, what's up,
Hey.
Jackie? New real stuff.
Showing love, showing love. Appreciate you
Yeah.
being.
So I mean, one thing is for sure is just learning to really have your own individuality together. Because I feel like yes, I could be very too relatable to people to the point that you can let people in your heart. But it's like you gotta have your solar plexus energy together just so you can take action
You
and
gotta
protect
see.
yourself when it's needed. Because
Yeah.
well, I don't know. For my early experiences, a lot of the times I've experienced too much, like I guess receiving too much energy by force. So that kind of made me stay in a state of contraction where I don't even necessarily want to express myself, and not having the ability to express yourself, you can't really protect yourself because you don't really
Right.
have your expression together. You're just kind of open to the world too much. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's definitely crazy. It's definitely crazy. It's wild.
Yeah. I kind of want to pull out some cards and then we just flow from there and talk.
Yeah, I'm
Shit.
down. I'm down.
Okay. Let me see. And I we were kind of already in the protection bubble earlier for everybody who was in my earlier live stream. But if y'all want to send some prayers of protection right now as we do the reading, you can do that. Okay. Just to, put a little divine white light bubble around us, spirit, give thanks, and we just ask that whatever messages need to come out to help people heal their inner child, they come out. I give thanks for you guys being here. You could be anywhere else. And protect us at all costs so we can fulfill our missions and go on this journey and not let our inner child or distorted selves or this world hold us back this lifetime. Ashayo, amen, amen. Okay, so I got Undying Love. Oh Lord,
Oh,
I might read the
oh
book from it.
goodness.
It says the love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. Let me read that one more time. Undying love. The love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. So what happened? Ah!
Well, hold on. Read that one more time. I'm trying to like.
The love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation.
The
Undying
love.
love. This is the card, you guys.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like maybe like whatever love I was giving to the world, like it wasn't necessarily gonna be exhausted. I may have felt like, I was gonna stay in a space where I'm just gonna be depleted and not gonna have myself together. So I feel like maybe once I started giving myself my own love, that kind of increased my capacity to really love others. Because really, you can't. I guess it's a Pisces
Right.
moon and Libra rising. You can still love others because you're very relatable. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're really not relating to yourself, it's
Right.
like you can't do it to the maximum
Maximum.
capacity. It's like you don't understand yourself, so you can't necessarily have that full understanding of others. But it's like we're
Right.
so helpful. We're like such, I guess, like servants of people. We like to service people that either way we would still do it, but now it's just like at a higher octave level.
Right. And a better way. It's a better way you coming at it when you are like connecting and relating to people. It's not like toxic or like
Yeah, it's not toxic for
self.
yourself.
Yeah, it's not even like you're imposing anything on anyone, or you don't feel this force. It's like you truly start to build healthy connections with people. So you
Yeah, hundred
definitely have
percent.
to learn. I do think Libra Pisces energy has to learn how to learn to relate to themselves, definitely, or even just Pisces like understand their emotions, and Libra has to understand their thoughts, like what they're thinking about, and make sure it's even catering back to them. You know what I'm
Hundred
saying? And that
percent.
just putting out all this for everyone else. Because then that's like their superpower, and they could be using it for like it's like we have these powers, we have these gifts, and sometimes we could just be feeling away or thinking away, and we don't know how that's the part that makes us divine masculine or feminine. So we have to learn how to use it right. Otherwise, if we're not using it right or being mindful or like locking in with ourselves or checking in with ourselves, healing, doing the work, this is when we get distorted, and then we start messing up shit for ourselves and others, and we don't even realize it because it's like, dang, I didn't know I got to heal that. So don't judge yourself at the same time. And I think Libra and Pisces has that ability to also be very like non-judgmental. Like, it's okay. I felt like almost like relate with the distortedness and then still be like, nah, we need to heal though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like kind of pull you out of the distorted, like Libra and Pisces know how to like party and then get back to business. Like
100%, yeah. Like
when they
once you
do
know
it
how to
right.
do it, yeah, at a better level, because a lot of times, for me personally, you can be attached to like a negative habit pattern, a decent version of it,
Right.
toxic version of those traits. And when you
Right.
really like just do the shadow work and see why you're doing those things, like for me as a Pisces, I learned like, damn, you know what? I really didn't value myself. That's why I'm doing so much for other people. So when I
Right.
learned to just, build my self-esteem and really just love myself, I saw myself doing that trait in a much more higher degree where I'm like, like you said, you're more so in and out the situation. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like which landmines not to tap into. You're just kind
Right.
of helping the person you're leaving on time type. So you're not too deep in their waters. The point
For
that
sure.
your world is their world now.
Right. Right. But just enough to pull them up and then be like, okay, you good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then people do that for us. So it's like, I think that's the gift of the Libra Pisces world. But that's like a whole world because Libra's like the law or like the balance, and then Pisces is like, well, it's limitless, like it's okay. You didn't even think about it like this though, or feel this way about it. Like they're both. I feel like they're so similar. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, definitely with the Venus energy and things like that, just giving love, value, and appreciation in some type of way, shape, and form. They both share those realms. I feel like Taurus kind of like, well, Taurus is in a practical way, so to them it's
Yeah,
just like it's more practical, and it's like they don't give too much. They're kind of more smarter with the Venus energy, you know?
yeah, they are. They are. They are
Yeah.
very. I give that to them 100%. They are very. I give thanks for that because I do have like a strong. I have Saturn in Taurus, so I give so much thanks for that because otherwise I would probably be like off the hinges, like
That's
just
crazy. I was Saturn in Taurus too.
okay. So we gang, we family, yeah.
Yeah, 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 real
Okay,
shit.
bet, bet, bet. Okay, so also too, it's kind of funny we talking about our moon, sun rising. I'm a Leo sun. Um, yeah, I thought my chart was a little off, but nah, I really am a Leo sun. Um, if I'm not mistaken, it is like 5 or 6 degrees. So yeah, and I think I was thinking about how the moon is in Leo right now, and how Pisces and Leo also have their own relationship where it's like what Leo will be feeling, a Pisces will be showing or saying, and what Pisces, it's like the opposite. Like what Pisces will be kind of, it's making me think something about the moon, like our mother and father, like who are like our parents, sun sign, zodiac sign, and ours, and how that also affects us and like how we see ourselves. I know it's a little
Absolutely.
deep
No,
and
you're
kind of
right.
weird,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, because we could play out like our mom and dad's patterns at early ages and not necessarily know that's what we're doing without. Because sometimes parents forget like, hey, they have their own identity, and we gotta like align them with their assignment. But in this world, it's just like, hey,
Right.
you take on my identity because I'm the motherfucking shit. It's like, what about me, bro? I can't be myself too. Come on, man. So it's
I know
like,
it's like we get lost in our parents' world, and then when it's time for us to make our own world, we're not really taught how to connect with us, which is like our own twin, that twin flame energy. It's like we're taught to like relate our emotions and our feelings to them instead of like ourselves and like be in our own bubble, which leads us to like Aries world or Virgo world, off the Libra and the Pisces stuff, where I think Virgo knows how to really think for themselves and hone in on what's going on with them, and then they understand how they feel and get to the Pisces world, and then Aries knows how to be with their own thoughts or whatever the heck they feeling, and then they'll express like, oh, this is what I'm thinking or what I want to say. So it's kind of funny that it's like how many spaces and things we have to travel to get to know ourselves before we can really even get to know someone else. And we're taught the opposite. We're taught to work against ourselves in a way and relate to everybody else, think how everybody else feel. And it's like a child, any child, your inner child is so important because it's like that opportunity to be like, okay, well, what about me though? You know what I'm saying? because if we have like this universe inside of us and you're not taking care of that universe, then you'll just be having like these crazy experiences and wondering what the heck is happening to you. Or shoot, then now we getting into the conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, seriously, because it's just like we're so disconnected from ourselves. Like when you really connect with your inner child again, it's really like from the movies where you just hug that inner kid again. That kid is just in its own little dark bubble. It doesn't want to get out because she's been abandoned for so long. When you start to break that space and really just give it
Right,
a
you're
hug
like,
and connect,
get out of
it's
that
really true though.
space.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, you're like waking yourself. You're like, come on already, you
Yeah.
know.
It's like
Or
different parts of your chakras, different parts of your body don't even feel like they're even activated. I know a lot of the times when I was younger,
yo, that's facts.
like I felt like I had to develop a cold heart just because of my early childhood experiences. So I disconnected from my feelings so much to the point that that was like a spectrum I was missing from reality. And
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah, it's like connecting with that and doing the shadow work and just letting go of those emotions, like crying them out. It's like it's unreal almost because people think like you're supposed to go to psychologists and they're supposed to help you, but you can just sit down with
Right.
yourself and let go of these things. Even like throat chakra problems where like your parents could be yelling at you a lot, where like you would shut down that part of yourself because you believe me, you make a belief where you're not supposed to speak up for yourself. So that
Mm-hmm.
can get into even using the Libra attribute where you don't speak up for yourself, you just speak up for others all the time and things like that. So a lot of parts of our body could be shut down and discombobulated, disconnected from. We just got to make ourselves whole again, and that's when we make our, join with our inner flame, twin flame, and become just because we're our own soulmates at the end of the day. If you're not for yourself, you can't
Then you
find that
can't
other
be
person that's truly for you. If you're
right.
against you, you'll bring people in your life that are going to be against you subconsciously, and you'll be like, whoa, well, why is my life like this? Why is my life like that? And it took me like a few Scorpios, a few Aries, just a few people to realize, okay, what's going on behind the
Yo, them
scenes? We got
Scorpios and
intentions.
Aries will get you together. They will
Yeah,
get you
not for
together.
sure. Yeah, that's what
They know
like.
a lot about love actually in the Venus energy, but they have to. By the time they get to that world, they be done with it. They be
Yeah.
done with it. So I actually think the good thing about being a Martian, I would rather I had preferred to been a Martian, but I'm grateful I am more of a Venusian because Martians go through it first. So it's like they just go through it and then it be over with. Venus signs, we gotta like go through it and get hurt, and then and then at the end we be like, fuck love. After everything.
Yeah, 100%. And it's kind of and it's weird. It's crazy you said that because literally like both spectrums need to like develop each other. Like you can't be too much of like a Martian and not love the flower that you're holding. Otherwise, you might
Right,
like destroy it, kill it, something like that. If you're a Venetian, you can't be too much of that. Otherwise, you might not know when it's time to separate and be fiery and go forward with what you need to do. You could be too
right.
busy loving people and stuff like that. So it's like the whole good guy and bad dude, but it's not really either one. It's just making the two balanced so we can actually live a more balanced lifestyle with ourselves and with the world around us, right?
Right. And I definitely think there's a difference between distorted masculine energy, feminine energy, dark feminine masculine energy, and divine. And
Right.
I explained that like you said Martian before we even get into that. Well, I'll say explain it real quick and then we'll continue with the question. But divine femininity in my opinion and masculine and whatever to be divine when you're in your divine energy that's like it's like I don't know how to explain it. You just on top of your shit. You're probably not allowing certain things, enabling certain stuff. You ever seen those charts where it be like, this is the story, this is divine? Like it's almost like a clear difference. Like a, you're not enabling even yourself to show up in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? And you probably have put yourself in a situation where you can act out that energy, even if it's for a limited time frame, because we do every day deal with certain distorted energies, whether it's at work, in our friendships, relationships, in our environment. But it's usually like when you're closer to that pure space, like low key with your inner child, and everything is like pretty smooth. Those good days, those good moments. But we all have that divinity in us. A lot of people don't tap into it. They don't think like that purity, that innocence is left. And those are the moments where I feel like you get a lot of things done or you see a lot of success. It's like you're working really well on yourself and you're getting the results back, and you're not even really doing it for anything but your mission. You know what I'm saying? It's like a selflessness that you have, but a selfishness you also have for your purpose. And you're just in that divinity. And then when you're in your dark feminine, that's or masculine, that's usually it can be just as good as the divine, because it's like sometimes you got to tap into that. Either if it's like the thin line between distorted and dark for me is distorted is like you just don't know. You just don't know how bad and how toxic you being. So just that's we'll go to the other side of opposite divine. Distorted is just like you just fucking those people are just demonic. They just karmic. They're lost. Actually, on one of my papers up here, I have like this little circle, and it's like three rings, and like there's like three rings of protection basically, and like the divine masculines and feminines are in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like when you have my mom told me when she had whatever, but my mom or for mothers, this is a good thing to do or do with your masculines if you guys are having babies or whatever, or creating anything. But when she had me and all of her kids, she imagined to put three rings of protection around her. And
Wow.
so it's like, um, I don't know what she explained it as or whatever, but it's kind of the same thing. So it's like the divine energy, you're in there, like that space of anything is possible, and then it's like on the outside it just gets more and more scattered and crazy. But dark is kind of like sometimes it's kind of giving the energy of like angel time, demon time. Like sometimes you gotta get like that. Sometimes people try you, sometimes people test you, sometimes you dealing with certain things in society. You gotta pay them bills, you gotta show up a certain way. In dark feminine masculine energy, it's just knowing how to move through the world and knowing how to understand that it is a lot of demons out here, and that most people is not on no road mission. And so sometimes you have to go into spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, might send you somewhere to bring the divinity out, but it's like through you kind of going like Batman mode. Like I don't know, like some type, like you gotta go into your villain energy, like that villain in the hero. But distorted, usually for me, that usually is like more on like the evil side for me. It's like just it's not good. It's just not good for nobody. It seems like it until you're fucking trapped in a situation that you're like, where did this come from? And it's probably like some part of you that hasn't healed, or you thought was okay, but it's really toxic and bad for you and everyone. So I definitely was distorted for a while growing up, and then I learned and got into my dark feminine, which made me take all my power back from toxic situations I was in, learning how to love myself, being my own twin flame. Twin flame helped me stop being distorted, because a lot of people are karmic. So when we talk about karmic and tarot land, they karmic until they realize like they purpose, who they are, they wake up, and then they go through their dark feminine, where it's like they might have to move, travel, cut people off, just act out to get
Absolutely.
themselves back. You know what I'm saying? And then the divine is like, okay, well, I'm living in my truth, and if you're not living in it and you're not helping it, it may even look like you coming crazy, like you're distorted. But over time, people, it grows in them, and they learn like, oh nah, you have boundaries. Oh nah, you have respect. Like there's a limit they can go with you. Like they have to grow with you, or they cannot. They won't be able to keep you around. So that's how I see that. I know that was a long explanation, y'all. I'm sorry, just had to break that down though, because that's how I be seeing it. And yeah,
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like a lot of the time you do have to be negative at the start. You have to be negative at the beginning. Sometimes a lot of scary, uncomfortable situations you got to go through that you've never been through before, and you're like, damn, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to seem like this. But it's like sometimes you do have to push it aside and just make
exactly.
space for what's coming to you, because you know where you're going, and if you've already accumulated all these things, whether it's friends, just certain family treating you and acting towards you a certain way, by the time you really put in that energy work and transition to that new space, it's just going to be so much distance between the old people that know you might just be like, man, what happened to this person? Why has this person changed? But it's like when you embrace it, you really do make your life better for yourself. But it's just like, at an earlier point in our childhood or just growing up, we can connect with all these karmic connections just based upon being distorted ourselves and not knowing who
Right.
we are. We come to,
Right.
I know we start to analyze, why are we experiencing all this negativity? Why is all this going on? Then you do
Mm-hmm.
the work, you start to, really act in your boundaries, you start to really act in your power and things like that. And people don't like it, but that's okay. You start to bring into your life new people, like, people like you, Mooney Mercury Baby, the Older
Right.
Pilot Man, Dave B, and all these different people and things like that. And so it really just teaches you that, hey, you know what? Even though you can leave this piece of land here, there's a new promised land waiting for you, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you ever seen like One Piece. You ever seen like anime One Piece? You ever heard about it?
Yes, I'll be watching everything on watch cartoons online, but I'm not that deep into a lot of the anime.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
still learning. Yeah.
yeah. It's just about just being a pirate and willing to be able to leave what's perceived as the government and what's good for you. Just
Mhm.
traveling new lands and meeting new friends. It's basically going on an adventure, right? Because right now I view this as like an adventure. This is
Mhm.
something new I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
done before. It's like it helps you develop a greater awareness and a greater sense that hey, look, there's people
Oh,
out there like me. You know?
that's facts that you said that because honestly, the twin flame journey does start with you because it is the beginning of your spiritual journey. It's like finding you, and people get so lost in it being a person. You might be lucky and get a person. Thank God if you get a person or somebody who can ride some of the waves with you. But it's really you with you and you finding out like, oh my God, I am who I am. I'm here to do what I do. That's the whole power of the twin flame. That's how I look at it. It's literally like a freaking crazy mountain journey, like this fucking roller coaster of shit, and it's worth it. But a lot of people are scared of themselves, so they're obviously never attract their twin because they don't want to put in the work.
Yeah, and people that are just like scared of themselves, they don't know who they are. It's like they look at you, you know who you are. It's like, no, don't you dare know who you are. I don't know who I am. That makes me feel so uncomfortable. Because, like, when you're expanded and aware, it's like people that try to bring their bullshit to you, your thoughts and feelings are so large, you can encapsulate exactly what they're doing to the point that, like, it's just
Yep.
no weapons formed against you will prosper. And it's like either they
Right.
have to align with you or just be like, you know what? I'm aware of this person, but I don't want to be aware of them type energy. It's just like because I have friends like do that, so it's kind of weird. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let them do what I do. I'm gonna do what I do because I don't know about you, but I got people like watching
Yeah,
my
man.
channel low key, just old friends from high school and all types of stuff. So it's just like, why not just be honest? Why not be authentic about it? Asking me
Be
questions rather
real.
than going behind closed doors. That shows your character. You know what I mean?
Because everybody has a little, you're gonna be distorted a little bit. You live on earth, like we here on this reality, like it's gonna be earth is ghetto. You
Yeah,
always
Earth
gonna
is.
have a little ghetto in you. You can't take the hood of the earth of the ghetto ness out of you, just like can't take your hood out of you. So you need that gutter in you to that eat, like I hate to say it, but the evil in you to make you know when to pop off on somebody because they trying your life.
Hundred
You know what
percent.
I'm saying?
Yeah, hundred
Versus when
percent.
you got to be divine and love and light. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time to party and it's time to live your best life.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. People be thinking it's you gotta be one or the other, or you people are just one or the other. That's a better way to say it, but they're not. It's just usually depending on the place the space they in, and the space they also like to stay in and frequent, and that's usually when it becomes the real twin flame journey and the healing journey that you can't even push nobody through that fire because it's like if they're scared, they're scared. Like you gonna hurt yourself trying to help them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why the twin flame journey just be so like emotional and hurtful and scary and painful because it's like you're
Yeah.
really doing you're really facing things and conquering stuff that most run from, you know.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? It's like people will look at you like this. Like that's why I kind of develop like ideas like this. I
Look
call this
ahead,
like
you finna
I
find
call
your
this
boo. Okay, keep
yeah,
going. Sorry.
yeah. I basically call this like the unholy savior. So when you're expanded, when you're aware, people almost look at you like, is this person evil? Is this person bad? I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a Martian type
Like when
energy
you're
because
in your power.
yeah, it's like people,
Yeah.
people don't like that ability to just separate from things, be aggressive towards your purpose. They look at that as like just bad or evil or something like that. So it's like,
They do.
you know, I don't know about you, but growing up, my mom called me like, a little bit of a demon just because like
My
I didn't want to
my
be
step parents
Muslim.
did.
Yeah, I didn't want to be like I don't want to pray to God like the way they did. So it kind of gave me a distorted perception of myself. It's kind of another add-on to it. But I learned that what, this is just my own way of getting to spirituality, and this is just my
Right.
own visuality. Because I've always been like a very imaginative kid, so I just had to learn to direct those imaginations and encapsulate what I want to encapsulate, rather than
Mhm.
religion putting images and words in my mind that I didn't necessarily even want to experience. Because it's just trials and tribulations, and religion is just man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I never wanted to pray as a kid, for example. Even like going to the mosque, I would always run away from prayers. I always thought like God should be just so I don't want to say inviting, but it should be like a journey that you say yes, because you know it's relatable. It's not so
like
different.
force, like bow
Yeah.
down type of energy. And that's what, honestly, I'm so grateful that my parents really, at least my mom's side, she really allowed me to just kind of like figure whatever out and go where I want. And then eventually I pulled out tarot cards, and then she was like, and then she had tarot cards, and I was like, "You're spiritual." That's why I always like this and stuff like that. She was trying to keep it low key under the Christianity, but it's cool because
Oh
sometimes you
wow.
gotta do what you gotta do. But
Right.
also, sometimes we be just indoctrinated. That I think that was where I'm now taking it to the next level and making her understand, and everybody low key around me in my world and reality, like helping them realize there's a little bit more
Yeah.
to that. Like you don't have to stay in that bubble or let
Right.
nobody do that to you. Like you can think for yourself and ask your inner child, like what. That's why I made the deck, like for kids too, to they could be like, okay, well, I feel like the sun means this, and I feel like the Bible means that, because a lot of us didn't get that ability. And I don't know, I just heard the Pluto and Scorpio generation didn't get the ability to have the power to even speak on certain things or express how they really felt about certain stuff. Like it was like they had to almost like hide like behind something. I don't know if you want to call it like a mask or like a religion, but like not really. They didn't get the freedom to just f shit up and do what we doing right now. Like even online, talk like this. They were called demons and devils, and I definitely, on my dad's side, that's where I went through like a lot of my like childhood abuse, and that's my grandmother on that side, my step grandma. She called me that, like she was like, "You're a devil," or she was like,
Wow.
"You something with the devil," or something like that.
Right.
And it shit freaked me out, and I had went through a lot of really like toxic things on that side, but even from then I knew that wasn't true, and I knew that they were that's not even something you tell a child. Like that in itself is evil and demonic. You don't tell a
Absolutely.
child that. So it's like where does that even energy even come from? If you want to say we fighting spirits, not flesh type shit, like people say, it's like I always notice how things will be said, but it's like, okay, but nobody could answer certain questions at the same time. When it was time for us to try to take power back and question our parents, a lot of times they didn't even know what the hell they was talking about. They just feel stuff, and if it felt strange or unfamiliar, especially because they haven't done the work with themselves, they just look at us like you're not doing something right and stuff like that, or you're not with God, or and it's like,
Right.
yeah, they don't even be with God because they be distorted and doing
Absolutely.
whatever the fuck. So
100%. Yeah, because you know you can't say things like that to a child and claim like you're in some type of religion that's helping you facilitate the process of healing. Because you know if you're like screaming at your kids, if you're yelling at your kids, if you're cursing at your kids, there's no way that whatever you're into is actually helping you heal, and it's not. You're just pushing that toxicity onto your kids. So if your kids have to grow up and deal with that on their mind, that just shows like there's a certain level of shadow work that you haven't done on yourself, and your religion is not taking you to do. So it's like it's just giving up all this energy, and they're not realizing that they're just being harvested, and it's really just keeping
right,
us vibrationally down and not connected with our higher self, you know, our greater version of ourselves. It's keeping us at a lower vibrational timeline. And it's not
right,
a good timeline at all for us or our next offsprings. So why not
right.
just destroy this illusion that someone else casted upon? It's really just a bunch of spells at the end of the day, and you can just
Right.
create a greater, way better spell, like just to help yourself
Just
and family and all that.
and it's so funny how they was doing the most witchcraft and spells by the way they was talking to us, the way they was, just making their coffee in the morning and just, you know what I'm saying? It's so funny how a lot of our older folks or the older folks or guardians or people who are like indoctrinated don't even realize how they are this getting off topic, so we'll go back a little bit, but just using their own magic and just their own mind for all the wrong things too, and not and thinking just because they have a Bible or they I don't know, whatever, they're like, so they are divine, and it's like deeper than that. It's deeper than saying
Yeah,
you are putting a title on yourself or saying I'm a Christian. That doesn't make you necessarily divine. It's your behavior, it's your character, it's your actions, it's
right,
the way you show up,
right.
and yeah.
Yeah, it's like this strong sense of righteousness where it's almost like misdirected to where it's just the wrong outcomes and things like that. So it's like I don't
Right.
know why they didn't just you could have just learned to like separate from a lot of these negative emotions. But I guess maybe the internet wasn't as available, or resources weren't as available. Because it's really hard to really truly trust your spirit. Your spirit could be telling you, "Hey, go this way," but you can have like a form of a word telling you, "Hey, no, look, the Bible says this, the Quran says this. Go do
Right.
that." Because it's like objective, so it's so hard for them to trust their own internal realm and what their heart
Right.
is telling them. And it's like even my dad, when he tells me about his early childhood experiences, I can understand why he's the way he is, from him to his grandfather. But it's all this just cycles of people going through it and passing it on. And it's like I feel like we're just the ones that are like destined to break it. And when we break it, it's like we show them a whole new light, a whole new way of things, how things can be possible. Like even my parents right now, my dad, he told me like just like a month or two ago, he's like, "Yeah, I think you're like on a higher level of initiation. I think you understood something." Even my mom, she started like doing tarot cards, listening to tarot card readers and stuff. So it's like when we do the work ourselves, we really help them break out of that shell. And it's just
Right.
like it's just a part of it all. And it's like we're the ones to do it. Maybe it's because we're the Pluto and Sagittarius generation.
That's what I was about to say. It's because
Yeah,
we're like taking our power back, especially around spirituality, but like teaching each other. Like, no, this is what this means. That's why I like your channel, because, and I was telling you earlier about your work, because you be explaining it, and a lot of people don't even know how to read the Bible and know what they're looking at, and they just listen to their pastor, and their pastor don't even really know what they're talking about. But when you look at their pastor life, they don't even really want to live their pastor life. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And they be looking to us tarot readers and people on content creators online, and
yeah.
we don't even be probably reading the Bible or into certain things, but we be spitting game because we're actually on the journey doing the work, and then we can reference to a verse because we went through it. We went through that. We traveled through that space ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We actually with God, and God is pointing us at the literature, the books, the songs, the lyrics to like connect all the stars and the dots for us, like where we're going on our spiritual journey. So I love that. I love your channel and the work that you do. I kind of want to read this freaking and I love that what you said about your dad, because I be going through that now with my parents and my family. Nobody's saying nothing, but the vibe is kind of like, all right, Jade, all right, you know what you're talking about.
You got that protection around you now. You're so aware. It's like I'm godly. Come on now, don't mess with me.
You don't mess with me. You know I'm on. You know I'm not on no fucking demon time. You know I'm not
Yeah,
trying to mess with nobody. I'm just let me read my dang cute cards. I ain't hurting nobody.
yeah,
Okay.
real stuff, real stuff.
So it says undying. This was the card we pulled, you guys. I'm right. Undying love. Okay. The love you have shared is eternal in regards to the situation. I really I love this card, but Loki, I hate this card. Because this card, I cried a lot pulling this card from my own love life and my twin flame I thought I had or whatever. And this card for me, before I give the meaning, is like I love you, but I gotta let you go. Or it's usually like I love you, but one of my favorite readers, her name is Queen Cup, and she says loving a person from their highest heavens to their lowest hells. And this is how I look at this card. Like it's usually a situation where it's like I like you. It's like I love your ass, but ooh, I don't like you right now. Like I'm gonna love you regardless of the situation. Or the love is eternal. I have a dying love for you. Or it's usually like that other side where it's just like this is usually like my lost love energy card. Like, dang, like I wanted that to work, but I'm gonna love you regardless. I'm gonna let you go, and if it comes back, then cool, And that's kind of like the twin flame journey in itself. That you can't hold on to the other person or people you meet along this journey. You just have to like learn the lesson and let the people go, and whatever stays, then like that's like when you're going up that journey, it's like those people were like, or those situations, whatever that was created or manifest, it's kind of like that was low-key meant to be because you did that work. So now something has to manifest into your reality, like, and that makes me think about yin yang, like being in like the yin realm, and then how we as a woman, especially it's like a divine feminine, how we externalize what we've been creating. I feel like a lot of divine feminines actually right now is they've been doing the work and getting away from the distorted inner mother teachings and karmic world or feminine energy and taking their power back through the dark feminine energy. You should be seeing a lot of things externalize or manifest for you, where maybe in past generations, we were not able to step into our power. And that's why you see a lot of women posting about like dark feminine or even really going hard doing their readings because they couldn't even, we were talking about that before, even speak and talk back in the day. If you want to say, I know some of the history is fake, but women were not given that ability to like speak for themselves type shit.
Right.
So that's why they be
Yeah.
going in like that, which
Yeah.
can be distorted though. I had to learn that too, because it's like we shouldn't be shouting online that much, like going crazy. We should just be, it's a process to get to that divine side of
I,
things where it's like it's just happening instead of you always having to talk about it. It's weird. I don't know
yeah.
if that makes any sense, y'all, but yeah.
Yeah. So do you mean like you feel like, I mean, all beings on earth, I feel like kind of go through between these two extremes, basically being too kind of in a state of contraction, not speaking up. Then when you do get in that space because of an angry situation or something that's bad to happen and you have to separate, you might go like extreme with it. But I feel like that's just a part of it because like you just gotta
Right.
you realize, okay, I did too much here. Let me do it on this percentage level. This way I'm not overly exhausting myself. Because even though you don't really need to do all that sometimes, like overly exhausting yourself, we're not really here for all that sometimes.
Right. Even the masculines, like always doing things externally. Like sometimes y'all need to go within, and
100%.
not the distorted could be doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Or even in your own right, feeling too much. So it's like y'all be having to find your own, just like the feminines, like right, left, up, down, side, like way to move through the world without like almost like hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. But let me read this card because I keep somehow not, I don't know, maybe it's something important and that's why I keep getting distracted. Okay, so it says the love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. When it comes to the matters of the heart, your help is here, it's all around you and also inside of you. Your inner wisdom may seem quieted by your, ooh, hold on, let me go back. And I feel like this is a card too. I'm so grateful that you're up here because I feel like people need to see divine masculine energy and you embody that. All the guys that, all the people y'all see me post are divine masculines and feminines. Y'all respect them. You know what I'm saying? I respect you. So it's like, I respect the work you do. And I'm like, I feel like this is for y'all too because the masculines been going hard doing their work. And for a long time, there was like no examples of what that even looked like. And y'all are like popping out and we need y'all for real, for real. So let me read this. It says, and obviously feminists take this heed for you too. Don't think y'all high, mighty, and perfect, okay? Because y'all be acting out too. So I know, because I be acting out and I'm getting it together. But it says, when it comes to matters of the heart, your help is here. It's all around you and also inside of you. Your inner wisdom may seem quieted by any pain that you feel, yet be assured that the healing you're undergoing is swift and efficient, and you truly are healing from the inside out. Wow.
Wow.
First, your heart must heal from its grief, loneliness, and any feelings of betrayal. This can take some time, so be patient with yourself. Treat yourself as you would any allying person, with caution, gentleness, and tenderness. Next, get yourself out into the world, not in a harsh fashion, but with outings to parks, forests, and such, with an essential to lightening your outlook. The greater nature is the great healer, you see. That's why I'm frequently amidst the flowers and trees. Although they may seem quiet on the outside, they quite they're quite talkative when you breathe and simply ingest their magical tones and conversations. Spend time in to spend time amongst the forest and the trees as well as the plants and the animals, and you will regain your foothold upon this planet. You'll retrieve your sense of spirit and your desire to tread among the living once again. I promise you that your heart will mend. That's funny, we're talking about the heart chakra. And
I like that.
yeah, I promise that your heart will mend and that you will also help others in this fashion along the way. And then
Wow.
this is just like some little extra, they just give like a little background story. And it says, various meanings of the card. Love from your romantic partner is eternal, regardless of the outward appearances. You're healing from a breakup. You're healing from some other type of loss. Let go of an old relationship to make room for a new one. The love you send into the world is an important part of your divine purpose. Your deceased loved one is happy and sends you love. I'm going to read that one more time. Love from your romantic partner is eternal, regardless of the hour's appearance. You're healing from a breakup. You're healing from some other type of loss. Let go of an old relationship to make room for a new one. The love you send into the world is an important part of your divine purpose. Your deceased loved one is happy and sends you love. And then the lady that they talk about in this, the goddess. This is a goddess guidance oracle deck. It says Izolt. That's her name. I. It looks like literally I and then Zolt. What the freak?
I'm not gonna say that, but yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. It says the legendary Celtic goddess was caught in a tragic love triangle, haha, between her husband King Mark of Crown of Corn, her, what the heck, Crown Wall, and Sir Tristan, a handsome and noble knight. Throughout the scenario, Isolate was courageous in dealing with her respect for her husband or her profound love for Tristan. Today, Isola helps us through the court. I cannot read. I'm so dyslexic. Through the I don't know, whatever, of relationship, love, including familial, romantic, parental, and friendship. She reminds us that regardless of the situation, our love is real, powerful, and undying. Call upon Isolate whenever you need help with relationships, including your connection with departed loved ones.
Wow,
Yes,
that's crazy.
that's why I don't like this card.
Why is that?
Cause this card is annoying. Cause it's like
Is
it's
it
just
corny?
fucked up. Because you know what? It goes into like the twin flame journey, and also like this, like how a lot of karmic situations play out. And then sometimes it's not even karmic. It's like you just love people along this journey, you know what I'm saying? And it gets fucked up because it becomes not about that though, and it could become evil because
Yeah,
it's really about you at the end of the day. And we can get lost in our love for people and whatnot, and it's like
absolutely,
that shit don't got nothing to do with the actual lesson of whatever we
absolutely.
experiencing. So it's sometimes it's annoying because that's just me being the Venusian and wanting to like be in that world, but knowing like sometimes I gotta separate from my lover. Like I can't be under you all the day, or I can't, be like, it's so crazy too because I have Libra in the eighth house. So it's like as I'm getting older, I'm starting to more and more be like, fuck relationships, low key. Like I like my space. I like being alone. But when I was younger, I was so desperate for a relationship. So it's just kind of weird. And now it's like sometimes I think I feel pressured to like just like I don't know. I In the past I felt pressure, but now it's like I feel more like I'm putting pressure on myself. Like, well, don't hell up, don't not seize the moment and see what could happen. But I've been through too many of these isolated love triangles, and I'm tired at this point. I'm tired whether it was me or whether it was the other way, and it wasn't even like intended to be like that. It's just like you start loving yourself and being your own twin flame. You see yourself in other people, and it's like, how could you not like be like, damn, like I see you and I see you how I see myself, and it's beautiful. Like it, like admit it to yourself. It's weird. So yeah.
Are you pulling another card or?
I put that deck away because that exposed all my feelings. But I be doing that to y'all all the time. I'm always telling y'all what I got
Yeah,
going
I
on.
feel like we're such like open and honest people. Like we don't really, we're so open with our experiences and what we've been through. Like just even sharing that you were just talking about, like without even necessarily holding on to it. It's really just an experience we're passing through at the end of the day, and we don't have to
Right.
hold on to that perception of that, reality that happened to us. But at the same time, it's just like the way the world is. It's just so distorted, and with the shadow government doing things behind closed doors to, just kind of mess up both experiences of both the genders. It's just
Right.
like it just makes things way harder than it has to be, and you really just learn as a spiritual person that, damn, you know what? Loving myself is the best thing that I can do until I find that other person that's just in that space as well. And since you're both whole, you know what you want and need, and you're just so engaged with your purpose. And if you can find another person that's just they know what they want and need, and they're so engaged in their purpose, where like they're not trying to take something away from you, or vice versa. You both just make everything whole. It's just like it's not coming to things without neediness, basically.
I think it's annoying. I think that card, I feel everything you just said, like it was like spot on. And I think would be annoying me is like people who don't do their work and then it just gets like messy because it's like, okay, well, what about me, yo? Like that's where I go backwards, like the karmic energies, like how that's what makes me upset when I look at cards like that, because it's usually like some
Yeah,
weird karmic cycle that led to it being like a love triangle, and it's like nobody gets justice at that point, you know. And I don't like that. I like when that's my Venusian too, or just maybe me. I don't want to ever be in a situation where somebody's feeling away at the end of the day. Like I want everybody to win and everybody to get that other person, but a part of the twin flame journey is realizing if they don't do the work, then it don't work.
yeah,
And sometimes you can do the work and it's still not meant to be. And that's what frustrates me. It's like it's not really up to whatever I say, it's whatever up to how the divine, whatever you
yeah,
want to call it, plays it out. And it's like sometimes being a reader, I can get in my feels because I just see things that I'm even witnessing for y'all through the readings or whatever, and I'll be like, man, why y'all messing with my people? Or even then I read myself and then I'll be like, damn, like I wasn't even trying to like do like it. Like I'll be like, how did we even get to this situation when it was just first about me, and I just wanted to post a video about some random shit. And it's like I have to take several seats even as a reader all the time and make sure I'm not like personalizing what other people are going through or like with how they're showing up in that distorted masculine feminine energy, because it's like I know I'll be doing the work, so sometimes I might come off crazy and people don't know how I'm coming unless they're like vibing where I'm at, and then they'd be like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I think it just gets tricky with the twin flame stuff, and that's why a lot of people don't like talking about it, or the word is just like twin flame. Like it's just like annoying for a lot of people because when you really are on that journey, eventually you kind of like it's like you see, like you were talking about, like you see the same cycles play out every single time. Just like, dang, when are you gonna get your justice, like with somebody, like,
right.
and it just seems like until you accept it's never going to be a right person or right way, you just both have to want to do the work. Then it works, but until then, it's just like hell. You can meet somebody, go through a season with them, then go through and then come back around to certain people you think they're the person, and it's just like stop making it a person. Just make it about you, and whoever lasts, that's probably the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta show up for you. You can't expect somebody to care more for you than yourself and your mission and everything. So that's the hard part. It's like a sacrifice, like a self-sacrifice you have to make to be on the swing because you have to realize you may not get a person. You may just be with you. And I don't think everybody wants a person or has a person. And I think I've been really accepting that lately. Yeah. Or has to be with someone, but you should. Like I don't think people should do this life shit alone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% get it. But it's like when you get into your purpose, man, that really brings you like a great amount of fulfillment because it feels like you're not wasting your time and just being in these like energies of home.
Situations. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It just feels like you don't need to be part of these situations anymore. And like you're just content and you're happy in whatever space you're going into next. It might be a space where you can actually do that thing that you want to do. But unfortunately, this world is not a world of happy endings because not everybody does the work, right? It's like
That's
you
why
can
I get
meet a
so
person.
mad because I'm like, because
I know.
you'll think somebody's your twin flame, and then you be like, fuck, something happens, and it's like, why did you come in to teach me that lesson? You were supposed to be the one, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's not how life works.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you feel like through those experiences, like you were made aware of like parts of yourself that, because we talk about being too much of a Venetian, we need to be a Martian, stuff like that. Do you feel like
Mhm.
they made you aware of, you need to do this, be aware of that? Like, did you go through that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's why I kind of like my little Martian side, or like the people I usually grab manifest a lot of Martians, and I'm cool with it because I'm like now. I'm like more like thicker skin, like whatever. Like I don't need that relationship. I could be by myself and be, and I really mean that. I really do love being with myself, but it's a little bit more less super lover girl, romantic, hopeless romantic as it was when I was younger. And I wish I would have learned that because I probably would have been in a full blown relationship right now if I was doing more of this work as a child. But that's what we're here for, is to like set a new trend, you know what I'm saying, of healing, of um being with yourself before you like choose somebody else, because this whole journey is about really choosing you and choosing to show up and choosing to look in that mirror and choosing to face you even when you want to run and be distorted and you want to run and go fuck somebody or do some dumb shit or stay in a karma cycle. That's what makes you divine, is when you can choose the right thing that's not just for you but for everybody. Because you notice when you're in your divine energy, you get everything done. But when you're in your distorted energy, it's like nothing works. Everything's stagnant. Goals don't get hit. But when you're in your divine energy, it's like it's a constant flow, like a constant elevation.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it, because it's like if the other person doesn't want to come with you on that journey, then it's destined to kind of break off, because it's like you're at a
Yeah,
higher level. It's kind of like being a millionaire, where you got to be with another millionaire to understand what they go through. So when you're at
yeah.
that high vibrational level, it's like you need someone that's willing to go down that journey with you. Otherwise, then it's kind of gonna break off pretty much. Like you're at two different levels
And
of
that's why I hate it, because it's like it's not guaranteed. Yo's twin flame is not guaranteed, because anybody can do the work and tap into, like, I call it like the divine masculine feminine, like crown. Like anybody can put it on, you know what I'm saying? But no, everybody can't keep it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because you could just have these like moments of, I guess, being connected with yourself, but you can really lose it, because you can find
You
yourself
can
and really
really
lose
lose it,
yourself. But you have to
right?
learn to keep yourself. It's like getting the basketball and keep it going down the court. You know, like that's almost
Facts.
feeling it.
No, that's so facts, yo. You really, yeah. And sometimes too, you could think you divine. Like I know I go through moments like that, and you be on some damn just super distorted. I'll be on some stupid distorted shit and don't realize it, because it's like I'm still. There's always something to unlearn. Like it could be like something regarding eating or something. Like you realize like, oh, I healed this, and then it's like something new to like face. Like immediately you go to the opposite spectrum every time you go to the other side or finish something. There's always like something new starting, you know what I'm saying? That's why they be like, oh, the new beginning, because it's like it never ends. So it's like annoying. Like I don't know, this whole conversation is dope as fuck though. I feel like I keep going on. I feel like we're missing like a couple more points. Like there's something like we're supposed to like, you know what I'm saying, wrap it up in a little bow and make it and send it off like a child. What are y'all talking about in this chat?
See what people are talking about.
Y'all better be talking about what we talking about, or I'm gonna be mad. Okay, you said I'm going all the way to the top. Hold on. I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it, because if I try to, it's going too fast.
Oh wow. Yeah, so a lot of people went through similar experiences. Mom called me a Satan spawn. Wow, goddamn.
Wait, what you said?
Now some of the comments. Brandon said my mom called me Satan spawn. I ain't know that though. That's what he said. You know, we were talking about earlier
Oh yeah, I
about
saw that
how our
earlier.
parents perceive us as demons just based upon like our own ability to perceive things, and I guess other people going through that too. So
Yeah, a lot of people
yeah,
be
but
going through that. I didn't know that.
one thing that came in my mind was like just being able to notice like the negative habit pattern and not necessarily going back into it, because it's really like an
Mm-hmm.
accumulation, a cycle that we keep doing. And it's like we can just, once we just really let go of that negative habit pattern, and it's almost like a part of ourselves doesn't want to see us win. Like, I'll share this crazy thing, right?
Facts, facts.
I had this
Please.
dream, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I had this dream like where there was this part of me that was literally trying to kill me in my
Oh
dream.
my
But that was
god.
just my own thought and feeling that didn't want to see me win and get outside of that cycle. It's almost like I'm threatening myself. Don't get out of that space. It's safe here. So it's weird. It's crazy. So it's like
I
you
know.
might not be for you on like a subconscious,
I keep.
unconscious level. And it's like the Bible says it like Jesus went to hell and got the keys of death from the grave. So it's like you almost have to go to your own death, the abyss, and transmute yourself from the root all the way to the crown and really like allow yourself to just in and out and transform. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, that is wild. It's like, yeah, it's like it's
At that,
almost like it's like a energy you gotta catch. Like that's how I be feeling every time I slay like I guess you would say a demon or energy.
yeah,
It's like you're catching energies as you're going. Like literally like you in a game. Like nah, stop that. You know what I'm
hundred
saying?
percent.
You have to
Yeah,
catch yourself. You gotta catch yourself. Like hold on. Cause you
yeah,
live in this, we really do live in this like real toxic world. So it's like we have to make more of it. Life is what we make it, and we have to make it a better place. We have to try to lean more in that divine energy, or we'll just be effed up and be going and not even realizing for eons how long we're repeating the same things. And that's why it's so hard to break these, for some people to break those generational curses off. But it's like once you get into this space and you get right with you and you realize, oh, this is about me and doing the work with this internal work, that universe within, it's like everything just starts to unravel. And that's why I love the twin flame journey, because you hate it, but then every time you get to that point where you're like, it's like the what is that guy, the time glitch dude, or the movie where he like does the time.
like the
I know
Matrix or
it's not the
Doctor Strange.
Matrix.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor what?
Doctor Strange, the Marvel
Doctor
movie. I don't know if
Strange.
that's the one you're talking about.
I think that's where the green. It was like green, and he was like moving shit around and then taking the time
Green
capsule. I don't
Lantern.
know. I don't know, but it was like I think it's the other one you said, the
Doctor
doctor.
Strange.
Doctor, let me look it up. I think it's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's the dude with the red cape, blue suit. He's like a magician.
Cause I'm about to do that tarot review tonight. I might need to do a Doctor Strange. I'm about to start doing these reviews because I went to film school and I'm like, I gotta get it in because I be seeing things and I be like, do y'all see what the fuck I see? Doctor Strange. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely do a review on that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a dope movie because it goes into a lot of spirituality and a lot of just enlightenment and awakening. And the dude in the movie was a scientist. He didn't believe in like the right brain, mysticism, the occult. And so when he was introduced to that lady, she showed him all these different perspectives that he didn't want to believe, and she knocked him out of her body. So I think you could do that with like sound therapy and stuff like that. Knock people out of their body with sound resonance and make them kind of tap into a reality beyond what they're normally perceiving and stuff like that. Down to even us speaking, because we're dragons spitting fire. Your words is like a form of a light and awareness. You can make people like tap into parts of themselves and parts of the world that they weren't aware of. That's why even religion, if you're like a pastor, but most pastors don't really do it. It's like knowing how to use grammar, knowing what time of the day to speak, and like where the moon is at, and all these things. You can really help people tap into aspects of themselves, and the word is a really powerful thing. The word is really alive, like the Bible
Right.
says.
The world is really alive. It's
Like
facts,
the
and you
word,
have
yeah.
the word. Yeah, I thought you said the world, but still the word.
But the
It's like
world, yeah.
but it really is alive though, and people just be saying and doing stuff and not even realizing how they're being either used or controlled by these things, or using it themselves, and like how much power they have to like make life what they want it to be, like literally make it heaven on earth. So
Absolutely, yeah. It's like just speaking into existence and just taking control of the subconscious, unconscious script that's controlling your life. And when you just learn to just go within and align yourself the way you need to, life can really be a magical experience. But just once you connect with yourself, that
yes,
happens. Like, because there's so much resistance there's good things that we can resist in life that we just have fast doors like, oh no, don't go that way. But when you're just
and
working
that
on
be the
yourself,
thing.
you're happy. Yeah, it's like you have no resistance to it. It comes to you so easily. Like,
Right.
yeah.
That be like that's what I love about doing this work though, because even though we be traveling through these distorted waters, and then we gotta snatch our power back, get all the dark feminine masculine up, or do whatever we gotta do to be ourselves and just show up and do our job, it'd be worth it. Like at the end of the day, something to happen or things will come together, and you realize you go through these cycles. It's like going from like 0 to 10. Like you keep just going through the cycles and going through, and you're like, man, you don't really want to give up and go to that other side because there's nothing there for you. Like it's better over here with God, like in God's world. So
Yeah,
yeah,
just going through those experiences. You're like, no, I don't want to go back to that space, man. I like this space way better, even though like I might be alone or whatever it is. It's just a way better experience for me. I'm way more healthier. Just overall in a better space. It's better than hanging out with people that are distorted themselves, misaligned themselves. Because the only thing you
Right.
could do is just speak in existence with those people. That's just bad. Because it's like if no one's on purpose, what are we speaking into existence as a group?
Right,
Like,
right.
you
And
know?
I think that's why we all gravitate towards each other because it's kind of like we. And Jackie knew. Shout out to her. She did say that at the 717 retreat that we went to. She said it was like a twin flame event, and that's how it felt because it was like all
Wow.
of us came and like healed each other or got each other together and like almost like reflected to each other like in our own little world. It's okay. Like keep being that positive influence. Keep. It's like we got each other together to go back out and bring more God's children together more and more. Like it's like it was like it felt like a school trip for us. It was so crazy. And now it's
Yeah.
like I feel like everybody is starting to realize like you don't have to be alone. Like you are that person who's supposed to bring this divinity out in those around you. And you might have to go through hell, but it'll be worth it. That is the journey. And you will get your twin. You know what I'm saying? But you have to first realize you are it, and then you have to live it, and you have to pretend to be your own divine feminine or divine masculine. You have to pretend to live in that experience, and then you will experience it. But a lot of people stop believing and they stop doing the work. They stop showing up for that inner child and for themselves, and then they get the fire of God's wrath, and it's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna Like you can't be one foot in. You got to be full throttle, and everybody is not about that life. So sometimes y'all be calling people y'all twins. That y'all got to stop. I'm talking to the people in the audience. Stop calling people y'all twins because you'll know, you'll know. Because I feel like it's just like something that just it comes the way it comes together. And if you look at certain people's unions, not all, don't be online like relationship goal hunting. You know what I'm saying? But you usually can typically tell when two people are in union with each other because the way they are with themselves and the way they show up in each other's reality is just kind of fucking crazy. Like I don't know. Maybe we can keep going or we can pause it there. Whatever y'all want to do now, but the divine unions are maybe that could be like a whole nother video that we do or something. That's
Yeah.
another that's I think that's coming for a lot of us and we just been
100%.
scared of it because
Yeah.
we're like scared of like someone fully
Like being
deeply
aware of us, you know?
taking us in and not like a child because
Absolutely. Yeah.
you're letting someone have access to you in that way. It is almost like when you get into a union, it's like I'm taking care of my little baby inner child, aka myself. Your inner mother and father better be together before you try to. Every parent don't let certain parents. You know, you see how parents be with their kids. They be like, "Oh, don't talk to my child that way." Another parent might talk to their child crazy. So if you're not connecting with the right people who are not healing, they might abuse or misuse your inner child. But if you connect with the right people, they'll bring the best out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's up to you to like decide and differentiate what works, what's for you, and what's not. Somebody might live a certain lifestyle, and somebody might eat certain foods, and it's like y'all can. I feel like if you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out, or it will figure itself out too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like uncalculable. You can't even imagine how it's gonna come, or like
Yeah,
you gotta really be doing the work. And you know, when you're really having fun, when you're enjoying your life, when you're in your purpose, man, there's a different glow about you. Your skin is glowing different, your smile is different, how you engage
right.
with the world is different, and other people want to be with someone like that. But a lot of times, like you said, you don't want to accept no rinkety dinkety person that's just this girl's having fun, this man is having fun.
Cause
I want
they'll try to
to
put
them.
it
Let me
on.
bring my misery house. Yeah, it's like yeah,
They'll try to really put it on you like it's them, but you can. It's not on them. It's in them. It's not on you. It's in you, and you. And that's the one thing I can say about other divine masculine feminines. We always know who each other are, even when we're not acting right and we're not acting divine. We always know. We're always able to look at each other and be like, "You divine. You one of them." Yeah.
yeah. Because it's just a certain level of experience that you have to because for you to even express yourself here the way you do, for you to even do the work that you do, there's just certain perceptions that you have to overcome from other people. Your spirit has to become stronger to endure all that hatred, all that love, and it shows for itself. You know, it's a certain level of spiritual celebrity that you reach in the world. Like other
Right.
than like Hollywood celebrities, spiritual celebrities are just different.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole different thing. But it's still, no, you're right. It's like this soul recognition when they be saying like you experience where you're like, oh shoot, you would be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
y'all meet at the next level. You're like, oh shit, we're here. You know what I'm saying? But unless that kind of reminds me when they be like, oh, unless you go deep with somebody, they can't go as deep with you. You know, and
100%.
it's that kind of vibe. Because sometimes I don't have the words. I be rambling. My Libra be like, and
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
everybody gets
I'll
it.
fuck to the I'll fuck to the
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
But um, for those who do get me and they've gone that deep and then they understand how I'm expressing myself or talking or showing up, it's comforting. It's comforting. And that's why I can say like that event that's the 717 conference. And anytime I'm connecting with y'all, it does feel like a twin flame type of experience because it's like whether we're talking about something or whatever, it's like we're getting each other together we're leading each other to the pond, you know what I'm saying, to get that basically or
Yeah.
whatever is in store for us because it's like we're almost like helping each other create that heaven on earth. Like all this people online helping build each other's minds and each other's self esteem and life back together from whatever the hell we all came out of. Like at one point, this didn't even exist. That's crazy as f to me. Like it was just a real hateful world, and now it seems like we're all trying to like heal each other and get each other together, even though the world is so fucked up. But we doing it slowly but surely.
Yeah, it's like we're all just playing out as each other's confirmations. We're like, oh, you got here too. Oh, this person got here too. Oh, so
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm not crazy. We're all going to this place, and it's like we're just confirming it to each other. And sometimes you have to
Right.
be a really strong spirit to even really get there and show that to others. Because for us to even make our parents aware of their own patterns and get them outside of these religions and things like that, it
Right.
requires you to be strong. So it's like you got to give credit to yourself. Like what you're doing on Earth is incredible. A lot of people can't do all that stuff. A lot of people would rather be in the patterns that the world's presenting to them and submerge themselves underneath that umbrella because that's what seems to be the normal. But they're not building their own experiences. They're just they're just being given those experiences, really.
Wow. Yeah. Um. Damn. We just hit like I wish you could just air high five. You know what I'm saying?
Bam.
Okay. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
feel
else
like
to.
we went for a while. I,
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe we went for an hour. To be honest, I was like, "Whoa, I talked for this long."
We on
That's
the hour
weird.
now. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, we just hit the little new
Music
starting point for
from
everybody to jump off the full card journey to get your twin flame. Okay, so we kind of came in with like some big daddy, big mommy energy, like our own divine masculine feminine energy. Even in because I feel like I was in my masculine energy earlier, and then I kind of like softened up into my feminine now, or
wow.
maybe I did the reverse. I don't know, but y'all got masculine and feminine energy in you, so you can always tap into one or the other. And I don't know what else to say. I feel like something's. Oh, that's what it was. I was supposed to pull a card from this deck. Let me just
Oh,
put the final touches on it because I
magic
was like, I feel like
time.
something missing. Like, hold on, y'all. But yeah, we're gonna put the goddess, the other deck away, okay? Because this is not Tuesday Tarot Tea, you guys. We'll save that for Tuesdays. and okay, let me see. Ooh, the card. Y'all want to know the card? I'm only gonna pull one card. This is how y'all gonna get into this divine union with yourselves and thus far with someone else. We're gonna claim with someone else, okay? And I don't know, for however long, I guess the divine needs y'all to be for y'all missions. Because that's the other thing people don't think about is the twin flame journey or being with your divine masculine and feminine. The difference between being with somebody regular and being with your divine masculine is y'all together for y'all mission, not just to fuck and hang
Absolutely.
out on Earth and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's like fucking just plays out on like on a mental level too, where it's like the deeper you know yourself and the deeper the other person knows themselves, it's like you just enter into a whole new type of union where it's beyond just the physical body, and it makes the experience of the physical body even more different, amplified, better
yeah,
even, because it's just
right.
yeah, it's not
It's
just
like
physical orgasms, it's mental orgasms too.
yeah, it's like giving the vibes of tantra.
Yeah,
You know what I
100%.
mean? Yeah. What y'all talking about? Yeah. Shout out to beautiful Porche, the host of
Yeah, shout out to Jackie New.
Jackie Moo. in the building. She knew the truth the whole time. Beautiful Portia in the building as well. Okay, make sure you guys get her candles. She's dope. And subscribe to her YouTube channel. Everybody's Inside 11. All right. Boundaries. I'm not even gonna say anything else. That's the card. The card is boundaries. What do y'all think about that?
Gotta develop your
While I try to find the book. What y'all think about the boundaries card? Did you just do a little sucker punch?
No, I did like a little shield. That was supposed to be a shield, you know.
Oh,
hey,
no,
like
no.
projectile
Exactly.
defense, you know. You gotta have a
That's
boundary.
why I be putting my little arm up. The spiritual boundaries with my crystal drip.
Oh, is that an evil eye?
Somebody, I just got this one. I didn't even know they made this color. I was like, what the heck? So it's like protecting my heart chakra, I think.
Oh, true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Healthy boundaries.
Yeah, no, that's super important.
Let me get this thing.
Healthy boundaries. Love me some healthy boundaries.
Healthy
me all the time.
Healthy boundaries.
That should be a song, you know. Healthy boundaries. Don't bind me to the evil shit.
Don't try me today.
Yeah, real
Healthy
shit.
boundaries. Right. Yep. Okay.
We might have to make that into a song now. Real shit.
We gotta make it song. We're gonna make it to a song. Okay. So, y'all ready to hear the card meaning? Oh yeah, I gotta go because I'm doing that thing where you smile so hard your face starts to hurt.
Shit.
The conversation is on point. It's on fire. Then my face is like.
Yeah, my smile is just always on all the time. I can't even help it, to be honest. Even in
high
high
school. No, that's me too. What y'all talking about?
Yeah, I like that. Bounded by our self-value. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's hard. Okay, Brandon. Because at first I ain't never seen you in here. So I was like, who that is? Shawty? Look at you and Haley. Y'all finna be twin flame. I'm sorry. Let me just stop. Anyway. I'm out here trying to play Cupid. But it says, a clear and healthy sense of boundaries is a great form of self. It's a great form. Hold on. Let's restart. My bad, because I'm going a mile a minute. A clear and healthy sense of self is a great foundation for love. Most people understand the concept of healthy boundaries, but aren't always sure how to put them into practice. Boundaries could be described as simply having a clear and healthy sense of self, of who you are, what makes you tick, what affects you both positively and negatively. A common example of unhealthy boundaries is the apparent inability to say no when feeling pressured by a prospective, new or existing partner into doing or behaving in a way that isn't in harmony with your truth. Hope you guys are listening in the chat. It says, for example, if you love the ocean and need to walk along the beach regularly to maintain emotional balance, you can invite your partner to join you or go alone. But you must not let this important activity fade from your life. There can be many gray areas in life when reasonable compromise in compromising your healthy boundaries. So each person is unique in each situation different. The most important thing is to make your boundaries and preferences clear early on in the relationship, or your partner may feel annoyed and resentful when you bring it up months or even years down the track. In an existing relationship, it is important to communicate your feelings, needs, and preferences by owning them yourself. So you can say, I need time to myself regularly. So from now on, I will go to the beach once a week on my own. This is much more constructive than you never want to go to the beach. It's almost impossible to drag you down there. You have ruined that pleasure for me. I'm going to get it back. Like pushing them off and just doing your own thing type shit. Set the tone early on, y'all. It says, you have drawn this card today because it is time for you to look at the way you have set your personal boundaries in the past as well as the present. Take a gentle look at what these boundaries have created for you in your life so far and resolve to reset them where necessary. Ooh, I like that. Ask your angels and guides to support you in communicating more lovingly and clearly from now on. Boundaries is the card of the day. And the other one, well, we're not getting back into that. And I think that's honestly that's how I've stayed out of a lot of love triangles. And I that's why I hated that card. But if it wasn't for my boundaries, I would have been caught up out here in these streets.
100%. It's like being caught up in like a spider web and not having the ability to
What?
move freely through it, right? So
Say that again
boundaries
for
really
the
help you
back
do.
people in the back. Yeah. Say that again for the people in the back.
Oh, sometimes you gotta, it's like a spider web that we get entangled into when we don't have a healthy boundary because we let people maneuver around us in ways that we may be aware of, but we may not just put up our guard and just, based on not having ourselves together yet. So it's like it's really easy to get entangled to other people's webs of perception of what you can do for them, how you should be. But if you don't have that healthy boundary, you're always going to get entangled in that spider web. Whether it's at your workplace, you're doing the shift at a time you don't want to do, or doing
Right.
something for someone that you truly don't want to do because you might not have your purpose together yet. So yeah, it's kind of how I see it. As a Pisces moon,
Pisces, you got y'all be having it on when y'all. I do think that when Pisces get their boundaries on point, they be like a Virgo. You be like scared in a good way because you be like, oh, I can't try them. And Libra too. Libra tap into their Aries side and be like,
yeah,
it's real crazy. Like they got that softness to them, both those signs. But once they really get themselves together, they can be hard. That's when they actually can bring like the best version of them to the partnership that they're desiring or whatever. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's like Libra has a sword, but it's like it's not a sword to hurt others. It's like a sword using court. It's almost like a ceremonial sword. We're
yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna
But
draw
if
the
I gotta, sorry,
yeah.
I keep cutting you off. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. You can go ahead now.
Um, um, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, if I gotta defend myself, just like we put the shield up, Libra will. You know what I'm saying? With the energies, not necessarily people, but if it's like Libra will fight too for what's right. It pushed to that point where like they feel like they gotta put up boundaries, and I think sometimes they get underestimated for that. And it just like Pisces will push back and turn into a Virgo. You know what I'm saying? And like become like a rock. Like you cannot move them at
Yeah,
all. Like, and I
yeah,
love that for them because it's like every sign needs the ability to know their limits, to know how far they can go, and it don't matter what a family member, a friend, you have to know that otherwise you distort yourself for somebody or a situation or the world, and it's not necessary, and it's never necessary, but the world will teach you you have to make it out here, to live in it, and it's not true. It's the opposite way around. So respect your boundaries, and you force people to respect them as well, and you actually help them create ones for themselves and understand how important it is, because over time it literally, it's like shaping boundaries help shape your world and help you keep yourself, like we were talking about, instead of it being taken advantage of and you being done any kind of way, kind of like that video you made about the rose. It's like boundaries are like, if we're talking about the masculine, it's like the container, and the feminine is like everything in it. Or you could say the masculine is like the gardener and the feminine is the gardener, the garden. You got to put, whether it's a union with yourself or a union with someone else, you have to have boundaries. And once you have boundaries with yourself, then it's like you put in like another spirit bubble of protection around the union, even double harder, because now people know how to show up with your partner, with you, and they know what to do and what not to do. So yeah, and then that relationship is truly divine and sacred, because now you got protection from y'all internal realm to the spirit realm, and at that point spirit's not gonna fuck with y'all.
yeah. Cause no one mess with you, man. For real, for real. Once you have yourself together, when you're with someone else that has themselves together, it's almost like nothing can stop you.
Unstoppable.
It's just
Right.
mission impossible sometimes, though.
I know. I think that's where everybody's at right now. Either trying to have healthy boundaries with people on a solo mission, it just started pouring wherever I'm at. I mean, where I'm at right now, pouring in Georgia. It's like having those boundaries with themselves or with others. I think that's what all of us are kind of like. That's probably why we keep talking about this Libra Pisces thing thing going on, and then Virgo and Aries kind of being the example of that. You know what I'm saying? So for us in this moment, or even us for them. So I think we just need each other, to figure out this boundaries life, because the world is so distorted. It's like, how we gonna have? That's why a lot of people can't keep their boundaries, because the world be so jacked up. It's like it works against our boundaries and what we're trying to create for ourselves, or even heal. It's like it almost tries to purposely pick at us, but you really are protected in your boundaries. And I've seen people grow in unions and businesses and whatever they invest their time and energy into. So I feel like it's possible, but you have to believe it. And otherwise, of course, entities and energies and demons and shit can get to y'all because y'all not both believing in it. And if y'all don't believe in yourselves, then fuck the fucking relationship at that point. If you don't want to do the work, fuck it. Fuck everything. It's just, you might as well just be with a karmic or something.
Yeah.
And just be out there. And I can't do that. I feel like some of us, we just hate ways. We just so divine. We can't settle. And our boundaries kind of, like you were talking about, people being, I don't know what we was talking about, but it's almost like our boundaries kind of like, even when we want to indulge in something, kind of force people out of our world, even when we want to be with somebody, just because they be so strong. And you gotta not look, you guys gotta not look at it like that's a bad thing, because it's protecting your life for real, and everything. If your boundaries make people run, it's not for you to run towards them. It's for you to keep like, okay, then that it's just not for them to be over here. That's it. It don't gotta be deeper than that.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas Pisces, we can be so relatable. We want to bring people into our world. We can do a lot of things just to make the situation work. But a lot of the times, we just gotta be willing to be like, yeah, you know what? This is not meant to be. It's okay. I'm just gonna let it go. And that's the whole art. The art of just letting go of something.
Right.
Go
Right.
bad. It's not good for you. Letting go of bad habits. Letting go of bad connections. That can be a whole just curriculum on its own sometimes.
It can, because it's kind of like, it's like, are you gonna work against yourself by not having the boundary, or are you gonna protect yourself like the inner child?
Exactly.
Like you can't act like it don't hurt, like, or it's not. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah. It's even
it's
a
like a mother
situation.
not saying sorry. What you gonna say?
I was basically saying it's kind of like purposely having a blind eye to the situation, like you're purposely blinding yourself to what's
Right.
going on. And it could be a lot of times just the distortion of early life where you're like, you have a mask, you got your full face, but you're like this. You don't see things clearly yet. You don't have
Right.
clarity. When you have clarity, you can just act in a way that you understand this is what you have to do.
Right. And then you know who to show up around. And that's why I love inner child healing, and that's what I teach in my course and stuff, about the fact that when you do really start to dive deep and look at your distorted patterns and ways and get up out of that, you will manifest other divine masters. You will manifest people doing the work. The thing is, you just have to keep doing it. And sometimes we get lazy, we get hurt, we get damaged, and it gets hard. But that's why you have your divine friendships and people too, before you even get into a union, these moments to pick you back up and pull you together and help you realize, like, okay, nah, I am building something for me. And that's what I can respect about Martian energy too, because they understand, like, me first, or at least like my security is like Scorpio or Aries, me first. And then they can like show up and give themselves, or allow who they feel is should be in their world close, unless they were taught the opposite, you know what I'm saying, and like flunked out or something. So, because I think I was a little flunked, and I was thankfully taught to have boundaries, but I got them I got them through all the disrespect and the abuse that I went through. It wasn't like I got them through a cute healing journey. I had to learn to have boundaries, or I wasn't gonna have my own life to live as a Libra moon, especially. Yeah.
No, I 100% agree. It's like all the ugly situations you had to go through, all those perceived as negative situations. You were just making you aware of the things that you had to, really become aware of and start doing for yourself, just to separate, like even just the fire energy, being able to separate from situations, seeing things from your own perspective, like Aries. A lot
Right.
of times, like the opposite sign will bring us the awareness that we need. Like Me being a Pisces moon, doing things like a Virgo, just being straight and concise. This is what I want to do, and this is what I want. I'm not gonna be too open to other stuff. Just the
Right.
opposite. A lot of times brings us that awareness that we could lack, because it really brings you balance. It makes you more, in the middle, equilibrium. Because it's
Right.
like one sign could be at fall, the other one could be at what's the opposite of fall? Spring or some. Oh no, summer. And then you can just like what Leo and Aquarius. They both really do the same things. Like Aquarius just be behind the scenes, in the group, and Leo's just
Mm-hmm.
present the group. But when you can balance those things, it's like you're not gonna be too selfish on stage. You're not gonna be like, I don't know what to use for Aquarius, but you know what I'm saying. Just
Right.
bringing back the situation.
We could kind of end it off with kind of just going through the rest of the signs and talking about what we feel, how they look distorted, and how they can, or what, not even how, but whatever comes out on the signs. Because going into Leo, I notice when I'm in my distorted Leo energy, that's when it's just like spit crackling fire. Like it's like when I was younger, like oh my god, like it's just like you
Yeah,
just think everything is everything and everyone is, it's like your world. And then but you're protecting that world. It's like Leo can be like the Leo, like Leo's the beyond the attention seeking, it's just like wanting to feel like proud of like I'm a part of this, or I do this, or this is me. But as you
yeah,
get older, I've owned like, oh shit, I am a part of a group. I help shine lights on group, kind of like the sun shines light on like, I can help shine light on the right shit and not like burn every fucking thing up, and learn how to like be the warmth needed to make people not go ghosts, Aquarius, and be like, okay, man, fuck you, but let's hang out though. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
like
No, 100.
be this kind of, and then Leo's also masculine, so I've learned how to tap into my masculine energy more growing up, and honor the fact that like you know what, like even whether it was my homegirls or it was my mom, it was my dad, it was my friends, my homies, I kind of always was still put in this masculine role, even in the feminine body. Like
Right.
somehow I felt like I was more in my inner father energy, not even really wanting to, but I just showed up in that sense, and that's what started showing me like the difference between my divine masculine energy in that world of the Leo world versus the distorted. And the distorted just wanted the attention. The distorted just wanted like what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Focus on what they want to focus on. And then the divine got older and realized like, oh shit, there's like a bigger world. Like I can be a part of this and I can help like bring different worlds and people, like using the attention for better, like using the love for better, using the need for the appreciation for better, like get some appreciation for some real shit. Like did you help almost kind of, because you know what I like about Leo is like they they like Aquarius.
Oh shit! Did it freeze? Oh, I think it froze. Did it freeze? Ah, don't worry, Brandon. You will, bro. Because she's all about life experiences, man. So just
Don't worry,
be
Brandon. You
aware,
will, bro.
and you're gonna see everything. Because all of life is just a pattern, right? So when you're aware of the pattern you're going through, you're gonna just transcend it eventually. Because you're either gonna keep going through that, or you're either just gonna get out of that, and at some point your spirit is gonna either do it in the extreme way, or you can do it in a very healthy way. There's no right or wrong. It's just what you got to do. Damn, JB, inner child healer, where did you go? Oh well, yeah. I guess there's an internet disconnection and stuff. Gonna see on. God, wow. Okay, well, hopefully she joins in again. Okay, I guess you guys are stuck with me right now, so I'm gonna have to entertain y'all. But do you guys have any questions as far as the conversation? Anything that I can kind of explain a little more? The card image in reverse. Which card was it? The love card or the boundary card? If it's the boundary card in reverse, it would just be us having our boundaries down and stuff like that. But if it's up, it's just having a healthy boundary and knowing when to keep our shields up and things like that. So just down would be a negative version, depressed, because like when you're heading down spiritually, is being depressed underneath something. Oh, I'm not sure what to do this. But when the card is upright, it's like you're expanding out of that. It's more like angelic energy, having wings to fly out of that situation, rather than upside down where it's like demonic. Oh, I'm not sure what to do about this situation, and things like that. But then where the homegirl go? Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, y'all. Hold on. Trying to figure out. Oh yeah, real stuff. You know, if you just like, because honestly, you can get into it from your own observation. And like, I'm talking to Haley right now. If you get into studying astrology and just look at the people in your life and look at yourself and the situations you've been through. Yeah, I'm just trying to like not cancel the live at the same time. But let me touch her up on Instagram and see. Let's see what's going on. What's going on? Hmm. Yeah, I texted her, but I don't know if the phone died or I don't know what happened, but damn. Yeah, I texted her, but I don't know if the phone died or because we're literally on her channel. Oh, is she back? Oh, she's back.
The power went out, and I was like, no. I was like, I feel like we should pivot though, just in case it happens again, and we'll do. Maybe we can do like a all zodiac signs, something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that was like a spirit was like, y'all about to go in and just hold on, nip
Yeah.
that in the bud because they might need to digest everything else we said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll definitely go on another live in the future and go further on the astrology and just bringing like a deeper awareness, deeper understanding of what we were talking about and things like that. But yeah, no, this was a very powerful conversation. It was a very powerful exchange. I feel like
Yeah.
we've shared a lot. We're open with people, and people were able to learn from our personal experiences. And hey, to go through negativity, we can all get out of it. And that's what's important the most.
The strength card with the lion and the woman taming the lion, but she also probably felt that she was the lion. She had to tame herself at time. Facts, Haley. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's going back to that whole distorted thing. And whether I guess that's where I'll end off at. Whether you are in a feminine vessel or a masculine vessel, and you have more masculine placements or feminine placements, that can be a good indicator to start to look at yourself in the mirror and see like how you're showing up. And that's what I was really trying to get at. So I'm gonna let it go there. It's kind of lightning, thunder, and just embrace the storm. The storm probably clearing out all the other shit. If you got any last words or things you want to add, you can.
You just got a storm going on there right now.
Yes, a
Hear
storm
it. Oh
in
shit.
Georgia. It just came out of nowhere, so I'm
God
about
damn.
to just like relax and enjoy this. Boom, yeah, the sonic boom. I think we just spoke facts, so I gotta go eat. I'm hungry, y'all. I see you guys, and I was saying, do you have any last things you want to say or express as well, like off the Leo thing or whatever, other stuff with Jones zodiac signs and stuff like that?
What, me or the audience?
You.
The Leo on the Leo card. Well, a lot of the times you could be like, you could be a man. Let's say with me, for example, I have a lot of feminine energy, so I understand like the feminine realm and stuff like that pretty well. If you're a female, you could have some masculine energy in your chart. So sometimes you really just gotta understand yourself because you could be a woman that's very expressive. There's nothing wrong with that. That could be something that you're here to do. Just embrace yourself and just learn about yourself and just be yourself. Ultimately, be authentic because we're beyond this vessel, we're beyond this body. But honor this body and honor this vessel at the same time.
Yeah, honor it. That's a real big thing too. Because sometimes it's okay to relax and just like be feminine and don't say nothing and just vibe.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So also in two, same for masculines, to express yourselves. It's okay to like say what's on your mind. Like bring that boom, bring that storm. You know, the ladies they can handle it.
Yeah, I
Trust
feel
me.
like this is more reserved than like just more so in their feminine energy. It's like everything's been just been reversed, you know. So it's like we're
Yeah,
just trying to like reverse whatever's been done to us, and you know, through this shadow work, really, we're just making it out. That's what's great about it.
facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all want to get any of our services, products, whatever it is, tap in more with us. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channels. And yeah, I don't got nothing else to say. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope you guys have a great night wherever you are. And let's go on this twin flame journey, y'all. Peace.
Peace out, everybody. Take care. Good night.
Thanks.
Bye bye.